David Menzies for Rebel News here in Oakville, Ontario, and we have returned to the Oakville Trafalgar Community Centre. You might recall a report from last month, a shocking report, where we had people, patrons, typically female, reaching out to us and saying that, well, there's a bit of a perversity in the pool happening here. And by that, folks, what I mean is this community center has a so-called universal change room. So men, women, boys, girls, whoever, you come in and you change. Yes, the cubicles are private that you change in, but the problem is some men, it's typically men, would get changed outside the cubicle in the common area and thereby exposing themselves. And it gets worse. The shower is completely communal. Now, evidently the etiquette is to shower with your swimsuit on. And again, that etiquette rule is broken. There are men who have exposed themselves, and there are even men who have self-pleasured themselves. And when complaints are made to staff, well, I guess it's such a third rail issue, they dismiss it as, oh, they were just practicing proper hygiene. I guess I could joke here that I must be the most hygienic man in Canada. Anyway, have you ever experienced that here? Or?
I know a lot of the people who I swim with have experienced it.
Really?
Yeah.
I know somebody complained from our group.
Oh, yes?
But it was a one-off.
Okay,
and
then.
They have put signs up.
The pool's universal change rooms offer an accessible space for everyone, accessible to people with reduced mobility, and allows people of all gender identities, parents, caregivers, and groups to be together in the same space.
After the segment aired, we had several other people reach out to us. Some said that this whole universal business, it's all about inclusivity to transgenders and so-called non-binary people. By the way, that's a funny word, isn't it? Non-binary. If you identify as non-binary, you are a binary, but never mind. In any event, to cater to the picadillos of a group of people that represent less than a fraction of a percent, we have to have a universal change room and a universal shower. And they said, what is driving this is, well, follow the money. It is dependent on federal government funding. Now, indeed, I did a little research, and there was a federal program. It was called the Green and Inclusive Community Buildings Program. That was a federal program. It ran for 5 years, and it doled out $1.5 billion in taxpayer funding. And basically, if you were a community center that met certain benchmarks for greenness or inclusivity, you got a grant. Now, I did reach out to the town of Oakville, and I was told that they did indeed receive just over $1 million as part of this program, but they insist it was because of the green initiatives of the community center, not the inclusivity part. I did ask, what does that even mean, inclusivity, and how is that tied to grant money? I was told to reach out to the federal government to get an understanding for that, and I will do so. In all my life, I can't remember community centers, rec centers, what have you, not being inclusive. How was it back in the good old days, and they were good old days, that having a male, female, and a family / all gender change room, how was that not inclusive for everyone? How was that not satisfying everyone's needs? But on this particular subject, this is what the town sent me in a statement via email. This model was designed to provide greater privacy, accessibility, and flexibility for all patrons, not solely to accommodate any one group. The decision to implement the current change room model at Oakville Trafalgar Community Center was based on extensive public consultation, including open houses, online engagement, and direct conversations with residents. Maybe much like the 1970 Ford Pinto, it looked good on paper, but in practice, as we have been told by countless people, it has become a pervert's paradise Because, shockers, some people don't follow the rules. Some people aren't changing in the cubicles. Some people aren't keeping their swimsuits on in the shower area. I was told by a source that an architect was part of the consulting group with this community center, and the original design had traditional change rooms and shower areas, i.e. male, female, family / all gender. And at the last minute, without any kind of explanation, the blueprints were changed to go the universal route. I find that a bit of a red flag. And maybe you live in a city where there is a similar so-called universal arrangement in terms of the change room and the showers. I'd love to hear from you. My take, the whole idea of going universal as opposed to what existed in the past, it was a solution for a problem that did not exist. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, I know you love it when Rebel News brings you the other side of the story, and for a story like this one, well, I'm sure the likes of the CBC and Toronto Star, they probably love the idea of universal change rooms and showers to accommodate transgenders and non-binary people. But here's where I need your help. Can you do me a favor? Can you help us bring you the kind of journalism you've grown accustomed to this past decade? Please go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you're able to, kindly make a donation.